There is a lie that lives in the back of your mind. It is a lie that has been planted there by millions of years of evolution, watered by your ego, and fed daily by social media. The lie is this, that you are being what? You believe that you are the main character in a movie that everyone else is watching. You believe that when you walk into a room, people are judging your clothes. When you make a mistake at work, you believe everyone is analyzing your incompetence. When you post a photo, you believe the world stops to evaluate your life. You are living in a theater. You are on stage, under the blinding spotlight, reciting your lines, terrified of forgetting them, terrified of the audience booing. But I am here to tell you the truth, the brutal, liberating truth that Marcus Aurelius, the most famous man of his time, discovered 2,000 years ago. The theater is empty. The spotlight is off. The audience is not watching you. They are not watching you because they are too busy being the main character in their own movies. Nobody cares. At first glance, this sounds depressing. It sounds lonely. Our ego screams, but I want to matter. I want to be significant. But if you stay with this thought, if you truly let it sink into your marrow, it transforms. It shifts from a tragedy into a superpower. If nobody cares, then you are free. If nobody cares, you can fail and it doesn't matter. If nobody cares, you can change your career, your look, your philosophy, and your life without asking for permission. Today, we are going to explore the Stoic philosophy of radical autonomy. We are going to deconstruct the spotlight effect that keeps you paralyzed, and we are going to learn how to pivot that energy inward. We are going to learn why focusing on yourself is not an act of selfishness, but an act of sanity. And we will see why the most dangerous, powerful, and magnetic person in the room is always the one who has stopped performing for the crowd. Part 1. The biological trap. To understand why we care so much about the opinions of others, we have to look at the hardware of the human brain. We are social animals. For 99% of human history, we lived in tribes of maybe 50 to 150 people. In that environment, the opinion of others was a matter of life and death. If the tribe disliked you, they exiled you. And if you were exiled, you died. You starved or you were eaten by predators. So your brain developed a hypersensitive alarm system. It is designed to constantly scan for social approval. It asks, do they like me? Did I say the wrong thing? Am I fitting in? But here is the problem. You do not live in a tribe of 50 people anymore. You live in a world of billions. You live in cities where you pass thousands of strangers every day. Your biology is outdated. Your brain is triggering a death threat alarm because you got fewer likes on a photo, or because a stranger looked at you weirdly on the subway. You are running old software on a new world. Marcus Aurelius fought this battle every day. He was the emperor of Rome. Every word he said was recorded. Every action was judged. He had ultimate power, but he also had the ultimate audience. And yet he wrote to himself, I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. He realized the absurdity of it. We value our own lives the most, yet we trust the judgment of neighbors, strangers, and enemies more than we trust our own. This is the trap. You are prioritizing the applause of people you don't even like. You are buying clothes to impress people who aren't looking. You are choosing careers to satisfy parents who are living in the past. You are setting yourself on fire to keep others warm, and they aren't even looking at the flames. Part 2. The reality of solipsism. Let's do a thought experiment. Think about a time you saw someone do something embarrassing in public. Maybe they tripped over a curb. Maybe they spilled coffee on their shirt. You probably noticed it for 2 seconds. Maybe you chuckled. And then you went back to thinking about your lunch. You went back to worrying about your own deadline. You went back to your own life. That person who tripped, they likely spent the rest of the day agonizing over it. They thought, everyone saw me. I'm such an idiot. But everyone didn't see them. Everyone was looking at their phone. This is called solipsism. Every human being is locked in their own skull. We are all obsessed with our own problems, our own desires, and our own insecurities. This is the great secret. People do not think about you. They think about what you think of. When you realize this, the weight lifts off your shoulders. You realize that your reputation is largely a figment of your imagination. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The insane are those who live for the external score. The sane are those who realize the scoreboard doesn't exist. Part 3. The shift to the inner citadel. So if nobody cares, what do we do? Do we give up? Do we become nihilists and sit on the couch? No, we do the exact opposite. We use this freedom to build something real. If the external world is indifferent, then the only thing that matters is the internal world. The Stoics called this the inner citadel. When you stop using your energy to manage your image, you have a massive surplus of energy to manage your character. Imagine you are building a house. Most people spend all their money painting the outside of the house, planting flowers in the front yard, and making the facade look perfect. But inside, the plumbing is broken, the roof is leaking, the floorboards are rotting. They are living in a ruin that looks like a palace. The Stoic flips this. The Stoic builds a house with a solid foundation, reinforced walls, and a warm fire inside. The outside might look plain, it might look weathered, but inside there is peace, inside there is strength. Focus on yourself does not mean narcissism. Narcissism is obsessed with how the self appears. Stoicism is obsessed with what the self. It means asking yourself the hard questions that the audience distracted you from. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I actually value? Not what society tells me to value. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. He didn't say look like one. He said be one. Part 4. The 5 pillars of self-focus. How do we execute this? How do we practically shift our focus from the they to the I? Here are the 5 pillars of Stoic self-focus. 1. The eulogy test. Memento mori. Then they will go to the reception and eat potato salad. They will talk about the football game. They will complain about the weather. And a week later they will go back to work. And a year later, they will stop visiting your grave. And 50 years later, no one will remember your name. Marcus Aurelius was obsessed with the transience of fame. He wrote, soon you will have forgotten all things, and all things will have forgotten you. If you are going to be forgotten anyway, why are you living your life for the approval of ghosts? Why are you afraid to launch that business? Why are you afraid to ask that person out? Why are you afraid to wear what you want? The eulogy test reveals that the risk of embarrassment is 0, because the memory of the embarrassment will be erased by time. Use death as a tool. It strips away the ego and leaves only what is essential. To kill the imaginary jury. We all walk around with a courtroom in our heads. When we make a decision, we look at the jury box. We see our parents, our exes, our old teachers, our cool friends. We ask them, is this okay? Do you approve? You must fire the jury. You must clear the courtroom. You are the judge. You are the jury. You are the executioner. This is called intellectual sovereignty. The next time you hesitate to do something, ask yourself, who am I trying to please right now? If the answer is anyone other than your own reasoned judgment, you cannot drive the car of your life if you are constantly looking into the back seat to ask the passengers for directions. They are not driving. You are. 3. The discipline of deep work. When you stop caring about what people think, you gain the ability to do deep work. Most people are shallow workers because they are addicted to the dopamine of validation. They post about hustling on Instagram instead of actually working. They answer emails instantly to appear productive instead of doing the hard, slow thinking that actually moves the needle. When you focus on yourself, you disappear. You enter the monk mode. You realize that results speak louder than announcements. You don't tell people you are writing a book. You write the book. You don't tell people you are getting fit. You go to the gym. The Stoic works in silence. They let the results make the noise. And because they are not distracted by the need for immediate applause, they can stick with the work long enough to become great. Excellence requires isolation. You cannot become a master if you are constantly checking to see if the audience is clapping. Amor, Fati. Loving your unique path. When you look at others, you compare. He is richer. She is happier. They are traveling more. Comparison is the thief of joy. But it is also the symptom of looking outward. When you focus on yourself, you embrace Amor Fati, the love of your you realize that your path is unique to you. It cannot be compared because it is not the same race. You have different DNA, different parents, different traumas, different talents. To compare yourself to another is to reject your own nature. Marcus Aurelius said, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig. He didn't say look across. He said look within. When you focus on your own garden, you stop worrying about how green the neighbor's grass is. You are too busy watering your own. The inner scorecard. Warren Buffett. The great investor talks about the inner scorecard versus the outer scorecard. The outer scorecard is, am I rich? Am I famous? Do people like me? The inner scorecard is, did I do my best? Was I honest? Did I treat people with dignity? The Stoic lives exclusively by the inner scorecard. If the world boos you but you know you did the right thing, you are at peace. If the world cheers you but you know you cheated, you are miserable. When you switch to the inner scorecard, you become invincible. Because the world can take away your money, your reputation and your status, but it cannot take away your own judgment of your own actions. That belongs to you. That is the one thing that is truly yours. Part 5. The dangerous individual. When you successfully make this shift, when you truly internalize that nobody cares and you start focusing on yourself, something strange happens. You become dangerous. I don't mean violent. I mean uncapturable. Society runs on shame. It runs on the fear of exclusion. Advertisers sell you products by telling you that you aren't enough. Politicians control you by telling you that the other side hates you. But a person who doesn't care about external validation cannot be manipulated. You cannot sell them things they don't need. You cannot shame them into compliance. You cannot bully them. You become a force of nature. People are naturally drawn to this. It is the ultimate paradox. The less you care about what people think, the more they are drawn to you. Why? Because everyone else is insecure. Everyone else is begging for approval. When they meet someone who is self-contained, someone who is validated from within, it feels like standing next to a fire in the winter. It feels like standing next to a fire in the winter. It is warm. It is stable. They want to be near your gravity. By focusing on yourself, you actually become better for other people. You become a better friend because you aren't using your friends for validation. You become a better partner because you aren't clinging to them out of insecurity. You become a better leader because you are doing what is right, not what is popular. Self-focus is the prerequisite for true service. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot lead others if you are lost in the crowd yourself. Part 6. The protocol for the next 20. So how do we begin? You cannot just flip a switch and erase 30 years of social conditioning, but you can start with a protocol. For the next 24 hours, I want you to act as if you are a ghost. Imagine that you are invisible. When you walk down the street, realize that no one sees you. When you do your work, do it for the quality of the work, not the praise of the boss. When you post on social media, actually don't post. Take a break. Experience your life without broadcasting it. Catch yourself when you seek validation. When you say something just to sound smart, catch it. When you buy something just to impress, catch it. When you apologize for taking up space, catch it. Replace that behavior with the Stoic mantra, I am sufficient. I am sufficient. I do not need the applause. I do not need the spotlight. I have my own mind, my own reason, and my own path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, a man's true delight is to do the things he was made for. You were not made to be an extra in someone else's movie. You were made to be the author of your own. Conclusion. The freedom of the abyss. Let's go back to the empty theater. The lights are off. The seats are empty. It is just you on the stage. For a long time, this image terrified you. You screamed into the darkness, please, somebody look at me. But now you see it differently. The darkness is not lonely. It is quiet. There is no booing. There is no judgment. There is only the silence you need to think, the space you need to move. Nobody cares. And because nobody cares, you can finally start living. You can take off the mask. You can stop reciting the script they gave you. You can dance. You can scream. You can work. You can be. The shackles are off. The prison door was never locked. You were just holding it closed. Push it open. Step outside. The air is fresh. The sky is huge. And the world is yours, not to impress but to experience. Focus on yourself. Not because you are selfish, but because you are the only thing you can control. And making yourself a strong, virtuous, self-sufficient human being is the greatest gift you can give to the world. I want you to make a declaration today. I want you to signal to your subconscious that the days of performing are over. Go to the comments below and write one sentence. I play for the inner scorecard. Write it down. Make it real. And if you want to learn how to deepen this practice, how to build that inner citadel up so strong that nothing can shake it, then you need to watch this video appearing on your screen right now. It explores the Stoic practice of ataraxia, unshakable tranquility. Click it.
Do the work, and I will see you on the other side.